Okay, in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the three good things intervention itself, and then the reflection that you should write as a result of writing down three good things that happen in your day, as well as the reasons for those. So let's take a quick look here at the overview. And again, one of the things that you'll notice over some of the next reflections is that there'll be a decent amount of these positive psychology interventions that will have a writing component to them. So you might write about three good things. You might do some expressive writing. You might write a gratitude letter. You might write about your best possible self. In the reflection itself that you will give to me or that you'll post, you'll talk about the things that you write, but I'm not looking for you just to write down three good things and then what happened and then just post that. That's not a reflection of what it was like to experience this kind of intervention, which is a relatively popular positive psychology intervention. So yes, you will write down three good things, but the reflection is really more of what did you expect to happen? What did you actually feel? And what did you learn about this kind of intervention as a result of doing it, right? So the first thing that you need to do is at the end of your day, it's usually easiest to do at the end of your day, is to think about your day and to write three positive events from the day. And also make sure that you explain why they went well. You'll notice in my comments back to you often, there will be some questions about were those things that just kind of spontaneously happened to you. So you'll need to provide a description of those good things and why they occurred and sort of your immediate emotions when you're actually living through that and writing it. But the reflection itself is also needing you to dive deeply into what it was like to recall and to list the positive experiences. So you can actually think of what I'm interested in is you've done this task now, and how does it make you feel? How does it make you feel to write down three good things? Some of you might say it doesn't do anything for me. Some of you might say, oh my gosh, it was the best thing that happened to me. It really changed the way that I saw my day. There isn't a right or wrong answer about what you experience, but it is important that you do write about your experience. Did it change your mood? What kind of mood did it change? Did it make you feel some sort of discrete particular emotion? And then what I want you to think about is if you did this a lot, would it change your emotional tone of your life? And so what would happen if you spent the next year every night writing down three good things? Would it make an impact on your life? And then why or why not, right? And then there's always a question about sort of like, now that you've heard about this, you've read about this, what is the difference between what you anticipated and what you experienced, right? So let's take a look at the instructions themselves. And so again, we've talked about a lot of these things. Let's get into them a little bit more detail. And so again, the goal is to really cultivate positivity by reflecting on things that went well and exploring why they went well, right? So it's a what and a why question when you're thinking about that. So you can do this at any night during the week. Just take some time when you have a little bit of free time. Write about three things that went well. And when you're writing, here are some things that will help you in the sort of like writing of it, right? So give a title to identify what it is that went well. So, spontaneously received a heartfelt compliment from a friend, or got a text from a friend, or had someone in line buy me a burger, right? So give a name to it. Tell about what happened, including your actions and the involvement of others, the degree to which what you did or what you didn't do had any sort of impact on why it was good. How did it make you feel both at the time and now that you're actually recalling it a little bit later? And think about why that event occurred and what kind of factors contributed to it. You'll see in my comments, we're looking for some themes here. You might notice that every time you're really with particular individuals or in particular situations, There are good things that happen in your life. Now, after you've done the actual task, now you got to get into the writing. So you want to write about what is the impact remembering had on you, as well as your actual explanation of their causes. How does this practice make you feel? How does the actual listing of 3 good things make you feel? And did it improve your mood? Again, it won't improve everyone's mood. That would be weird if it did. But you want to think about if there's any impact on your mood. And it may be for some of you, I don't know if this is common in this one, it might actually make you feel worse. But I mean, if it does, you should say that. That's an honest thing. So share in detail the emotional experiences that you gained from actually going through and experiencing this kind of intervention. Describe how remembering these positive events changed your mindset, change your perspective. You have a shift in your well-being or a newfound appreciation of the different types of positive events that are going on in your life. And then again, how did doing this, and you're hearing about it now, you're writing about it, someday you're going to sit down and do it. And how did the actual living through this experience, did it exceed, did it meet, did it differ from what you initially expected when you read about it or listened to it or thought about it? What are some of the differences between what you expected and what actually occurred? And now that you have this sort of understanding of like, how does it impact your mood and why does it impact your mood and how does it shift your perspective and is it similar or different from your initial expectations? If you picked this up as a practice, do you believe it would change your overall happiness? And if so, why or why not? And do you think that it may be a path to long-term happiness? So again, when you're looking at the rubric here, there's 5 points for each of these. Doing the actual task is a part of it, but it's actually a relatively small chunk. The reflection is really sort of understanding the impact of reflection. How did remembering positive events change your mood? What kind of emotional experiences did you have as you actually engage in the exercise? And what kind of insights did you get about yourself and your life and what brings you happiness as you went through writing about positive events? Were there discrepancies between what you anticipated and what you actually experienced? Again, this last point here, or this point 3, often will be either the second to last or last point. But it's really, what were your initial anticipations of your emotions and expectations? And how did engaging in the exercise actually compare to what you actually experienced? And then given all that information, is this an exercise that you think has the potential for you to actually change your emotional well-being? And if so, why do you believe that's true? Now, again, I just met with someone and they said, hey, sometimes writing these things, I have to really tone it down. That's true. There is a skill in writing something well and covering all of these points in less than 600 words, right? So give yourself the time to actually edit some of the things that you're writing as well. All right, I look forward to reading about this intervention. And if you have thoughts or comments or questions, be sure to put them in the discussion for all of us to read and experience.